Welcome to Win the Day from Back to the Bible. I'm your coach, Pastor Nat, and today we're going to look at the Book of Hosea. When have you felt the most loved by another person? Why did you feel that way? For me, it was about 17 years ago when my wife extended unconditional love, mercy, and grace when I hurt her in some very deep ways. The unconditional love we can show another person in the face of incredible hurt is a beautiful picture of the love God freely gives His backsliding children. That is why we should study the book of Hosea. The book of Hosea is the first of the minor prophet books. They're not minor because they are less important than the major prophets. They are minor because they are shorter. Hosea had a 45-year ministry to the northern kingdom and spanned the reign of 6 kings of the southern kingdom. Some people call Hosea the deathbed prophet because he was the last Old Testament prophet before the northern kingdom fell to Assyria. The book of Hosea spans roughly 40 of his 45-year ministry. The book of Hosea is deeply personal, painful, and hope-filled. You see, Hosea was married to Gomer, the mother of their 3 sons. The story is personal and painful because the first 3 chapters are all about the marriage of Hosea and Gomer. More specifically, it was about the ongoing and continual adultery of Gomer. She left her family to have affairs with many men. God encouraged Hosea to remain faithful and married to Gomer. In an incredible act of loving kindness, in chapter 3, Hosea finds Gomer a slave and he purchases her back. This unconditional love is a beautiful illustration of the love of God to His people. The next 10 chapters are all about the national adultery of Israel, God's judgment, and their restoration through their unconditional lover, God. Is Jesus found in the book of Hosea? Well, yes, we can find him in 2 places. We see a picture of Christ in Hosea chapter 14, verse 4. It is there that it says, "I will heal their apostasy. I will freely love them, for my anger will have turned from him." We know this, that Jesus is the friend of sinners and the lover of backsliders. We also find a prophecy about the early years of Jesus. In chapter 11, verse 1, we find the prophecy of the Messiah being called out of Egypt. This would be fulfilled in Matthew chapter 2, verse 15. So what's the main thing from the book of Hosea? It is unconditional love. God's love is free and unconditional for His children. That same love that He expresses to us, we can and should express to others. Listen to what Hosea captures in Hosea chapter 3. "Then the Lord said to me, 'Go again, show love to a woman who is loved by another man and is an adulteress, just as the Lord loves the Israelites, though they turn to other gods and love raisin cakes.'" God's love has no end for His children. He bought us with a high price. Though we may be faithless, He remains faithful. So here's my challenge for you today. Come back to God. All of us struggle with idolatry and adultery against God. It is tragic, but not a surprise to God. In the face of our wandering, God waits at the door calling out, "I love you," no matter what. There is nothing that can separate you from my love. Come home. I have always loved you, and I always will. Friend, come home to God today. He is waiting. He has unconditional love for you. Will you accept it?